So this is going through the grid or array model a little bit. Typically this is introduced for multiplication, and then you can use it again for division under certain circumstances. Anyway, let's say we have the 4 times 6. Okay, so in this case what we're going to do is we're going to look at it as either a grid, and array is basically just a mathematical term that kind of means the same type of thing, right? And you sort of make something with, I'm going to make a box, you can think about it as a rectangle, and then I'm going to put 4 rows in it. And I'm going to put 6 columns. In this case what I'll do is I'll cut it in half, and then cut each into thirds. It's usually, if you're trying to, as I'll show you with lots of these models, it's often easier when you've got something like this, is to cut it in smaller pieces to make everything look right. Okay, so this is 4, you know, if you need to, you can write 4 and 6 on the sides. I think this is pretty straightforward. There are going to be times where we do need to label things, right? And then there's 24 boxes. Right? And so that basically shows that 6 times 4 is 24. Okay. An alternative to this, again, exactly the same, it just looks different, would be to just do dots. So if I did 1, 2, 3, 4, and again, six columns of this, you get exactly the same thing. So I find this is easier to draw, so it's much easier to just cut a box into pieces than to actually do the number of dots, but that's fine too, and you'll see that other places. Okay, so that's multiplication, right? We could actually do this with division. I'll show a couple of examples. Let's do 31 divided by 6. Okay, and we can do either the boxes or the grid, or the grid of dots. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with something that has 6. And so I'm just going to do one set that has 6. Okay. Right. And then what we want to do is I'm going to make another one of these until we get to 31. So there's 12. Another 6 is 18. Another 6 is 24. Another 6 is now 30. And there's 1 left over, right? And so I'm going to actually do 6 and 5, right? And so what this shows is that the quotient is 5, right? And the remainder is, there's just 1 sitting off the end of it. So you've got that. Okay. All right, and so that's a grid or array model.